Welcome back to another episode of Back to Basics. Today we've got a couple friends coming over for some appies, so that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do some appies. So we've got some halibut cheeks. We're gonna blanch off some prawns, aka shrimp. We're gonna do a little shrimp cocktail action. We got a crab dip going on. So we're just gonna have some fun with throwing some seafood around. Of course, we're here on the West Coast. That's what we do. It's summertime. It's nice and warm out. So the first step of this whole thing is we're going to make what's called a court bouillon. Essentially what that is just a bit of a veggie stock with some wine, some lovely herbs, and a number of citrus fruits in there as well. Lemons, limes, some oranges. Bring that up to a boil. We're going to pound in our shrimp, let them cook for just a few seconds until they turn color. Get just cooked inside. We're gonna shock them after that. So that's next on the task here. So we're gonna head over to the stove and start making this thing happen. Okay, got some boiling water going here. Really not a huge ordeal. Just some white onion and some celery. We're not gonna bother making a proper stock, so we don't want that color of the carrots coming into it. This is just gonna be nice and easy. You can put leeks, you can do lots of things with this. So I'm gonna add about a cup of white wine as well, just for some acidity and flavor profile. As I said, we're gonna be doing some citrus, so I just cut the nub of an orange. We're gonna get that juice in there. Okay, fire that in and just dump the whole thing in. Not a big deal. Same thing with the lemon. Get those juices going, fire the lemon in there. And last but not least, we've got our lime, which is gonna be great. So we're gonna allow that to come up to a bit of a boil. We may even reduce it for a couple minutes, which might be kind of fun. Typically in this, I'm gonna put in peppercorns, some different herbs. I got some pink peppercorns that have been sitting in the cabinet there. So fire some pink peppercorns in there. Just a nice pop of pepper, which is gonna be good. Something I found, which I thought is really neat, is a curry leaf. So why not throw some curry leaf in here as well? See what that turns out. Just a couple, not too much. Again, let's bring that up to a boil. I'm gonna hit that with a little bit of dill, and we're gonna fire prawns in there pretty quick. Okay, court bouillon has had an opportunity to reduce just a little bit. Got some beautiful white prawns here, peeled, deveined. I don't think you guys need to watch me do any of that stuff. And again, right into our court bouillon. Nice and easy. Just give it a lovely stir. It's all in there. The smells coming off of this are just outstanding. As you can see over here, I've got my ice bath ready to go. So just some nice cold water, fired in some ice cubes, and we're just gonna take these shrimp, which are getting really close. You can see just in the middle here, where it's still a little bit gray, we want that to turn just that ever so slight white. Okay, it's gonna say that it's not overcooked and it's not undercooked. It's gonna be really good. If we overcook these shrimp, all of a sudden we're gonna feel like we're chewing on shrimp bubble gum, right? Super tough, really not that enjoyable. Bang, that's exactly what we're looking for, right? Lost that pale color, it's white all the way through. So let's get these out and into our ice bath. Okay, don't worry about the flavoring agents going in. Just get everybody out of the pot, into our ice bath, and we'll let that cool down. Now let's take a finishing touch on these beautiful prawns, aka shrimp, whatever you want to call them. This is just going to be our shrimp cocktail again. So just a really nice extra virgin olive oil. Hit that with a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. Not overly complicated. Got our rasp. I'm going to go ahead and just put on some lime zest. Beauty, right? Doesn't need a ton, just enough for a flavor. Okay, why don't we hit that, just a bit of fresh dill, put that in there. Let's toss this bad boy around. Oh my God, just these don't even need a cocktail sauce. These are just gonna be absolutely fantastic, just as is. Look at the shine on that, right? What company isn't gonna wanna stay here for the rest of the week if we're cooking like this all the time, eh? Newsflash, we ain't cooking like this all the time. There it is, shrimp cocktail. We'll get that ready for plating. So one of the items I'm actually gonna make with the halibut cheeks today is a blackberry gastrique. So great, go to the grocery store, grab some blackberries. No, n'est pas, let's not do that. My neighbor actually just across the street from my house has this huge blackberry bush. So little container, blackberries go in. That's what we're gonna be using for the gastrique. May want to check the quality first. Sweet and perfect. This is the perfect time of year for blackberries. They got a little sour note in the back end. Smoking good. Hey, next on the docket, like I said, we got our blackberries all picked, ready to go. We're not making a ton, so we don't need a whole bunch. So the gastrique is basically a sweet and sour sauce. Easy as that. So, white wine vinegar, honey, equal parts, into the pot, onto the stove. We'll let it reduce to a bit of a syrup consistency, and we'll finish it off a little bit later, and I got a couple of tips and tricks on that one for you as well. Okay, so about half a cup of vinegar. Again, white wine vinegar. Okay, that should be good. Blast in our honey. That should be good. So again, we're gonna bring this up to a boil, we're gonna reduce it. While that's boiling, what's gonna happen is the honey's gonna start caramelizing. So that's one of the important parts about making this gastrique. Again, we got our blackberries, just fire them in. I'm gonna finish this off with a little bit of herbage later, but we need to get this thing on the stove and get it moving. Okay, our gastrique is reducing nicely. You can see that it's starting to get some of that syrup consistency. You can see the caramelization going on right now with the honey. That's what's boiling up. So realistically, you know, it's probably reduced by about a third so far. I'm gonna reduce this again, another third, almost to another half of this. So we're just gonna be patient, let it do its thing. Trick, don't forget about it. That honey, the sugar that's in that honey, if this burns, you might as well throw the pot out. So I don't make enough money to replace all my pots and pans right now, so don't be worried. I'm gonna babysit this for a little bit. Okay, so you can see the gastrique has reduced really nicely. That syrup consistency, beautiful dark color from our next door neighbor's blackberries that we stole off of their bush. Another one of the components for our fantastic meal that we're gonna have here are Appies with some friends, crab dip. So on the West Coast, what do you do for crab dip? You go to the local store and get local, hand-picked, amazing crab. I did not fish for this. I did not cook the crab, nor did I peel the crab or do anything. They actually sell them in these awesome little packets. Sweet, perfect time of year for the crab. So just get spreadable cream cheese. It takes the effort out of those bricks of cream cheese that you gotta warm up. You gotta manipulate them. Just get the spreadable, significantly easier. Just got some sour cream here that we're gonna add. That was about 500 mils package of cream cheese. I'm gonna put in 2 tablespoons, okay, of sour cream. Gonna hit this with some fresh lemon juice. Right, I keep my hand under it with the fresh stuff. We don't need a ton in there, just a little bit of acidity, but with my hand works as a sieve. So any seeds that come out, they're not gonna be going into our product. We're not gonna be eating it either, right? Busting out a tooth. So I'm gonna be super, super liberal with this crab. It is such a treat. Get your wallet out, not a big deal, so you might as well just enjoy it. Load it up, load it up, load it up. Get it in there, just busting up some of the bigger pieces, no problem, okay? I've also chopped just some fresh chives, nail that just some nice green color. Gonna add some of that onion flavor to it, and what's seafood without fresh dill, okay? Again, a bit of fresh dill. That's that. We're gonna mix this thing up. We're gonna be ready to go. Mustn't forget, season, season, season. So lots of fresh cracked pepper in there. This crab, I tell you, just soaks up that pepper flavor, which is great. The salt always does its job. Okay, fairly liberal. There we go. And let's just mix this thing up. We'll give this a quick taste, make sure it's doing what it's supposed to do. Everything kind of coming together. Easy to spread around. Some crackers, maybe some crudité, or I might just sit on the sofa with a spoon crack a nice bottle of something and just eat this the way it is. So we're just gonna check our acidity levels, go from there. Banging. That's so good. Great acidic flavor, really brings out that crab. We're gonna let that sit and hang out for a little bit. Away we go. Okay, so cheeks are all nicely dried out, thawed out obviously. Took off a little bit of the silver skin off the back end. What that's gonna do is just gonna really help out with the mouthfeel, and you're not super chewy. In Asia, they're gonna keep that on there, the difference in the texture. So pan's warming up on the stove. We're just gonna hit it just with a really beautiful olive oil. Just a nice little drizzle. Season it up as we always do. Fairly liberal with it on this time. A bit of pepper. This is where we want to start getting a bit dirty. So get your hands in there, rub them all over, flip them over, get both sides. This sear is going to be no different than a scallop. We're going to be 30, 40 seconds each side. Essentially we're going to be, what, medium well-ish in the middle. We'll get that nice tenderness. It's not going to be chewy and rubbery. That's it. Let's get to the stove and get this thing done. So quick little trick on some of these. Old fat guy chefs will tell you, always put your fish away from you. So when you're going into the pan, you can get a little bit of oil if you want. Doesn't really matter. It's a non-stick. Place it down and then push it away from you. Okay? I've had many a sleepless night going the other way and finding my hands full of fat. Burning hot fat sucks. So that's my tip of the day. Again, we're just gonna have these on here just for a quick short period of time. We're gonna be dining like kings in no time. At this point in time, we're just gonna get ready to flip here pretty quick. Gonna add a little extra butter in. French chefs, right? Always more fat. So that's gonna help with the coloring on the one side. And then what we're gonna start doing is we'll add a bit more even, and then we'll start basting with some of the absolutely fantastic. And a nice golden color, doesn't need much more than that. And about 30-40 seconds on the other side. Finish this off. This is going to be just a couple more seconds. Just some nice fresh lime zest. Hit it with the rest of that juice. That's it. We're going to turn this off. We're going to let it stand for about 3 or 4 minutes. It's going to be perfectly done. So to finish this off, super French style, more butter. Always more butter. Right? Fire that in. Okay, just give it a really nice vigorous stir. Turn the heat off. It doesn't need to reduce anymore. So we're just going to basically try to emulsify this the best we can. There it is. See that sheen coming on? Starting to mellow out, and it's really starting to look like a sauce. Okay, look at that. There it is. Okay, let's finish this. A little bit of chives. A little bit of dill as we've done with everything else. We're good to start plating. Good, just a nice little bed of arugula. Our cheeks are on there. Lots of butter. Beautiful flavors. It's super, super tender as you can see. Let's pull that right apart. And you got all that moisture inside. Yeah, absolutely delicious. Next is our gastrique that we just finished. So you'll see that I haven't put any dressing on the actual arugula itself. It's got a really nice peppery flavor to it. And then adding our gastrique, which we already talked about, it's gonna be a, sweet and sour sauce. This gastrique is gonna dress that so nicely. There we go. That's it. I'm gonna show you the rest. We're getting ready to eat. Okay, company's here, they're in the kitchen, they don't want to be on here. Don't really blame them, it's a bit weird and awkward. Anyway, you guys have seen the food, you've seen the demo, time to eat. I'm starving, essentially this is going to be dinner, so I'm going to kick you guys out of my kitchen. Love you, stay safe, see you soon.